We are back with another Marvel Rivals video, and in this video, it's patch notes time. The season 7.5 patch notes we will be going over, and I believe in the dev vision, I hope they would talk about the CC protection change just to help against all my favorite tanks. All the tanks I play are essentially ones that get stuck in CC hell. I don't play any shield tanks. I'm just not good as main tank. I'm much better as off tank, and unfortunately all my off tanks get absolutely fucking CC to fucking hell and back. And as I can see on just the first line, CC protection, I'm already looking happy. Thought they were gonna make maybe a mention of it in the dev vision, like, oh, you know, this and that, but they didn't. That's fine. Character nerf I want to see, just fucking Cloak and Dagger so I can solo diver. I'm fucking sick of having to coordinate with my goddamn team in order to kill a fucking Cloak and Dagger. Send her back to 250 HP, please, and thank you. I think properly nerf Gambit or Gambit ult so people can actually play them, and then Rogue can actually get her team up, and then I can beat people's ass. That would be nice. Oh, what other changes? What are they gonna actually nerf Tank Pool's ultimate? Doubtful. Some other changes I would like to see. I mean, is there anyone I would like to see? I mean, I would always love to see Magic buffed, but Magic gets banned, and I don't know why, but she does. And it's aggravating, I tell you, aggravating. Bro, it's just mostly, I think, Gambit ultimate and then just Cloak and Dagger as a fucking character. I think Groot could probably use some. Groot wouldn't be some terribleness. They can definitely, yeah, once Groot got that unstoppable, he get quite the terrorist, I do admit. Who is someone else? Elsa, just I'd probably make a few changes to Elsa. I would like Elsa not to be permabanned, so I could actually, you know, maybe play her more. That's a doubtful. Phoenix burst damage. That I wouldn't mind that getting toned down. That'd be fun. That'd be wonderful. That'd be great. That'd be joyous. And then, I mean, a bunch of characters I want buffed. Of course, every fucking character I play would be buffed. That'd be nice. But anyway, without further ado, it's been fucking 2 minutes to get into patch notes. We've got another round of tweaks coming to Marvel Rivals. We're rolling out a brand new chain CC protection system to save you from endless stun locks. Bucky Barnes is trained in his crowd control for pure firepower, and Ultron is expanding his robotic wrath across the battle. So is Bucky no longer going to be anti-dive? Is he just going to now, are they taking away his anti-dive properties? There's no way. Oh, we're gonna find out. In season 7.5, we introduced the chain CC. I don't know why I said we introduced in past tense, like they can't. It should be we're introducing, but I'm not the group. At least who fucking cares? Protection mechanics to ensure combat remains fluid and fair. Here are the specific rules. The trigger: if the hero suffers 5.5 seconds of total CC duration or is hit by a CC effect. That is. Oh, by 6 CC effects. That's the A. I can't fucking see. 6 CC effects within a 7-second window. Chain CC protection activates. This instantly purges all active CC effects and grants the heroes 35% tenacity for 3 seconds. If you guys are wondering what tenacity means, it means essentially your character reacts less to the CC. So the stun, for instance, a 1-second stun would now last 0.7 seconds, and so on and so forth. You know, take away 30 seconds for it. Hold on, if a suffers 5.5 seconds of total CC duration or is hit by 6 CC effects, I don't know, 6 CC is a bit much. I was hoping to be like 4. To be dead ass, like 3. Because getting hit by, I don't even think when I play Venom I get hit by 6. Typically it's 3 CCs and you're dead. Let's see, if I play like Hulk, it's typically Emma grab, Emma kick, Luna freeze, and then I'm typically dead. And then like Emma kick again. Or most of the time it'll go like Rogue grab, Emma grab, Luna freeze, dead. There's not a 6, you're dead. You're typically dead after the third one. The third one, you're dead. Hell, I played against the Venom the other day and he died after 2. It was literally, all it was a Rogue grab, a Wolverine grab, and he was dead. Sure. Scaling tenacity. Tenacity proportionally reduces the duration of incoming CCs while active. Every new CC effect applied to the hero increases the tenacity by 10. So essentially, So you need like 14 fucking CC effects before you're no longer affected. Sure. Total immunity. If tenacity reaches 100%, the hero becomes completely CC immune until the buff expires. During this window, incoming CC will not grant further tenacity or extend the... So what? It's like... It's 5 seconds? You just become CC? Bro, dude, that's like... How many fucking CC effects is that? Oh, wait, is this just... Oh, no. Oh. You know what's funny? I think this is a slight nerf to Wanda. Because Wanda's bubble CCs you. Wait. If you're going against a fucking Scarlet Witch and she throws down that shit that stuns you for 2 seconds, are you saying if you just stand in that for 2 seconds, you get a 20%, just 20% for a second tenacity? If that's the case, so this one seems okay. So I think the way this works is this one, if you get chained by 6 CCs instantaneously, essentially back within a 7-second window, which is kind of a long ass window, you are just what is it? It's the second one. 6 CCs within a 7 second. So on the 6 crowd control, you instantaneously just get it completely and utterly purged. Except this is mostly for tanks, by the way. Squishies are not. This is not some squishies. You're dead after typically 1 CC. For like tanks and Venom and shit like that, like Rogue, like this. So on the 6th one, so if I hit by 5.5 seconds, or so, bro, this is actually a crazy nerf to Wanda because Wanda's fucking bubble stuns you like a full half second. So like if you just now deliberately standing in that so you can get CC'd and just because this one's probably not going to trigger, but the scaling tenacity, this is going to trigger, which means that you standing in Wanda's bubble as a tank is low-key going to be good for you as max as you can. Because I think it's 3 ticks. I think it's 3 or 4 ticks, which is fucking insane because that means a 30 or 40% tenacity for like 2 seconds. That's fucking crazy. Total immunity. If tenacity reaches 100, yeah, CC immune until the buff expires. Yeah. Cinematic exceptions. Certain animation-driven CC effects such as Emma Frost, Carbon Crush, and Monster Hulk's World Breaker bypass the system. Okay, Emma's Carbon Crush. Oh. Tenacity cannot reduce their durations, nor will it interrupt a chain CC. Okay. So you could still grab people as Emma because that's an animation. So it's essentially non-animation CC effects. Got it. Any standard CC effects applied during these cinematic moves will be cleared and tenacity applied only after the cinematic ability concludes. The chain CC has a 5-second cooldown, which begins the moment the final tenacity effect. Okay, so like I said, this is good. There's definitely probably some loopholes to play around it. This definitely makes certain characters worse. So technically, if you get hit by... Ooh, this makes Squirrel Girl and Wanda, funnily enough, worse. Funnily enough, I mean, they're already not that good. It just actually makes them worse because technically, if you get Squirrel Girl stunned, Wanda stunned, that in and of itself is like... That's like 5 CC effects? That's like 5 CC effects, which means the 6th one's free, baby. Hey, yo, wait, that's actually, funnily enough, makes Squirrel Girl and Wanda worse. Like, that inadvertently actually makes them worse because it just makes it to where you're giving people tenacity. Because the Squirrel Nuts don't do any damage. And listen, the amount of times I've been hit by that fucking Squirrel Girl randomly throwing that shit and somehow hitting me, astonishing. Hate my fucking latency. Anyway, now let's actually get on to the buffs of characters to make improvements. But this system is big for all the dive tanks. Gonna make them more viable. So Thing, Hulk, Venom, Rogue. I don't know how much it's gonna really affect Angela because she was kind of like, she's divey, but like if she's already on the ground, a lot of times she's already fucking cooked, right? Like she's already not in the greatest position. Thor, like it's gonna be helpful to a lot. Anyway, Vanguard, Emma Frost, we're slightly lowering the energy cost of White Queen's ultimate to be okay. So they just lowered her ult. Okay, I mean that's fine. Her ult's already kind of iffy. I mean it does more damage now, but like her ult's very easy to dodge. Like you stand behind cart, it misses. You stand behind a 1 centimeter pole, it misses. Like it's a line of sight ability and it's very easy to break line of sight. Deadpool Vanguard. This is a big one. We're slightly dialing back Vanguard's full burst damage and survivability gains from his gun form ultimate Got to keep things fair even for the Merc with a mouth. Reduce the band hammer gun form ultimately. Bonus health gain per hammer from 80 to 60 standard and from 80 to 70 upgraded. Okay, like I said, I don't. This has got to. Yeah, it's pretty big because a lot of times if you pop this and then pop your E or like your R1 with like the blue circle around you, you essentially couldn't die because it was about, you have 30% damage reduction and you're just gaining the God's amount of overshield health. It was so, unless the entire team actively shot you, you weren't dying. If it was 1 or 2 people, you weren't, you just couldn't fucking die. It had to be the entire team focused you down. You had to be like terror caped and like you couldn't have your blue up at all. Like it was, yeah, you pretty much just didn't fucking die. Reduce the band hammer gun form damage dealt from 45 to 35. Reduce bonus attack speed provided by Deadpool and your area Vanguard from 60%. Ooh, that's a big. Yeah, that's big. That's big. So he's probably gonna be a lot more. You're gonna see a lot more of them, probably in higher ranks. I think these nerfs effectively make Groot the best tank in the game again. Like he was already him. It was already him in a Vanguard pool were top 2 they were competing with it. But I think these nerfs once you see Groot's not nerfed. So Groot's probably the best tank in the game again. Yeah, so these nerfs are actually quite significant. That is a lot. A lot is a 20%. That is a lot of burst damage going. Ooh, it's a lot of burst damage going. And a lot of survivability. So yeah, he's really gonna be more in line. He's still gonna be good. He's probably gone from like the best tank in the game, or like arguably like 1A and 1B with Groot. He's probably like 3 now. He's still top 5, but like, yeah, this is that's big. So now we have Penny Parker, and fun enough, I was going to make a video about Penny Parker literally this fucking weekend, which is why I didn't, because I was like, I'd be so mad if I come up with this video about Penny Parker and then they drop a buff for Penny Parker. And guess what they're doing? We're slightly reducing Penny's base survivability, but enhancing the deployment range and protection of her cyber webs, while also improving the hit experience of her primary attacks. This aims to strengthen Penny in potential warfare. Now she can cover more ground with her cyber webs, and flexibility using their support effects will help the team handle specific enemy dives with more ease. So they're essentially buffing counter dive. So she loses 50 HP. Okay, fine. I mean, now she's going to be more killable by Phoenix, for sure. Increase maximum number of cyber webs that can exist from 3 to 4. That's obnoxious, but sure, yes. Base health cap provided by Penny from 150 to 200. So essentially the 50 HP she lost to Foley is now going to be as over health. Okay. Increase cyber web cluster from 120 meters to 150 meters per second. This is her bombs, right? So does it just mean just how fast they travel? Okay, interesting. Oh wait, no, this is her primary fire. They said primary fire. Okay, so she can shoot faster. I forgot what the projectile speed needs to be at for it to borderline be hit scan. I think it's like 275 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, her projectiles were always kind of slowish, but like, I mean, they gave it a buff like 5 seasons ago where it can get headshots. But like, I mean, they don't really do a lot of damage either. But like, this is a fine. I don't think it does anything. The problem is with Penny's ultimate, which, I mean, that was the video it's going to be about. It was mostly about Penny's ultimate, which was like, that was kind of dog ass. And I was going to, but like, now this is what they do. I'll probably make that video, I don't know, next week. Duelist Elsa Bloodstone were reining in Elsa's mobility and her threat level against Vanguard, so Monster Hunter needs to pace herself out there in the version. So yeah, all right, let's see what she does. Increase Helix advance cooldown from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. Cooldown and max stacks from 2 seconds. Okay, so once again, this is a big nerf. Actually quite a fat nerf. Jesus, man. I think it made her 2 seconds to 4 seconds. Man, that's kind of massive. Reduce monster piercer percentage damage per pellet from 1 point. Jesus. Reduce that percentage. Reduce total percentage damage from all 5 pellets from 6% to 4%. Xeon notes when all pellets hit damage against a 275, hero drop from 81.5 to 76 against the 7. 2 drops from 107 to 93. Yeah, that is quite a big drop. Ooh, HP. Every HP you lose and gain, like, in this game is pretty fucking massive. So essentially losing what, 14 damage? Ooh man. Oh yeah, losing 14 damage is, yeah, that's quite a. So losing essentially what, 5.5, 4.5 damage against 275, which means against 250 she's gonna be even worse. Because you gotta remember, when you're doing the Elsa combo, you get 2 elephant shots, right? You elephant shot, you dash, elephant shot, you R1, you get your elephant shot, you then R1 again, and so technically you get like 3 elephant shots, but if you just do the regular one, you get 2 elephant shots, which beforehand on tanks was 204 damage. Now all of a sudden it's 186. Oh wow, that's it. And then on squishies, you're sitting at looking at like 100 and, God, I hate the fucking 0.5. 163. Yeah, 163. Now you're looking at 142. Oh yeah, man, that's big. Ooh, that's real big. Ooh, that's, you went from taking over half their health, or slightly, like about 48% health, to now you're taking what, 40? Oh man, that's big. Yeah, that's a. So she's probably no longer going to be permabanned. I mean, her ult, they've nerfed that significantly. Ooh, yeah, no, that's bad. All right, let's see what they did to Human Torch. We're tweaking the Human Torch's mobility mechanics to boost his burst mobility and enhance his gameplay pacing. At the same time, we want his we want his movements to be a bit more predictable for his opponents. Flame on, but with a plan. Rivals. Plasma body mechanic adjusted upon casting. He immediately dashes a short distance in the direction of movement and enters the plasma body state for 4 seconds. This ability now has 2 charges with a 10-second recharge. Okay, so they've changed it. So they don't want, I mean, I think they fixed it anyway, where what Torch would do was he would do plasma body and then melee and then fire, which it did 2 things. One, it made them ostensibly impossible to hit because it just fucked up his hitbox so much. Like, it was like you just couldn't hit him because his hitbox was imperceptible. Like, it was just, you just couldn't do anything about that. So they fixed that, or they then, I think, fixed that a couple seasons ago. But this makes it to where he can kind of short burst away. This is interesting. I think this is like a buff. This is definitely a buff. Because since they nerfed his tech, or got rid of his tech so he couldn't like be unhittable anymore, definitely makes him more hittable. I don't think this fixes, I think his damage is kind of still an issue. Like, he kind of has to be close range now, but like, he lost his best team up, which helped keep him alive a lot. He lost that. So like, I think he's 250 or is he 275? He's one of the two. And there's a lot of hit scan in the game. There's a lot of counters to flyers, and it's just like, I mean, it's a buff. It probably makes him slightly better, but I don't think it's gonna bring Torch. I don't think this is gonna make Torch like an A or B. I think this is probably gonna leave him like a D or C. Like, I genuinely just haven't seen Human Torch since they nerfed him, since they gutted him back in season 5. I just haven't seen him. Next, we have Winter Soldier Bucky, who I actually have not been seeing a lot of. Like, he's actually fell off a cliff. Like, he was everywhere, and now he's nowhere. Bucky has a bit too much CC, which caused some serious frustration for enemies, especially when facing dive vanguards, duelists, or anchor vanguards. He felt more like a bodyguard than a lethal operative. We're reducing his CC capabilities and slightly buffing his frontal damage output to enrich his combat experience and make him feel like the true soldier. Yeah, Bucky essentially was a bodyguard. That's essentially all he did. Was anyone who dove, hooked them, punched them, pop, slow them, they couldn't leave, and then kill them. So let's see. Ooh, remove Trooper's Fist grounded effects on enemies. Yay, now I can play magic against Bucky. Yay. Woohoo! Reduce cooldown from 10 seconds or 12 seconds to 10 seconds. Increase Bionic Hook's cooldown from 12 seconds to 15 seconds. Increase Rotostern projectile damage from 75 to 80. Decrease spell-filled damage from 55 to 45. Reduce Tainted Voltage single charge energize time from 6 to 5 seconds. Increase crack and impact holding threshold from 15 to 20%, and then reduce base damage from 80 to 75. So his gun hits harder now. His punch can now is on a shorter cooldown. Bionic Hook cooldown get increased. Projectile damage gets increased. However, the spell field damage, which is like the splash damage, because it's technically like a shotgun of like areas, gets reduced. Single charge from 6 to 5, and then increasing cracking. So so it seemed like what they did was they got rid of Bucky's anti-dive properties and just kind of like doubled them down on Penny, pretty much is kind of like what it feels like. So they doubled it down on Penny, and then they just kind of got rid of it completely from Bucky, and kind of wanted Bucky to hit. They want like season 2 Bucky without giving season 2 Bucky. So Bionic Hook going from 12 to 15 seconds is kind of big. The cooldown on the punch is kind of interesting, because like the punch kind of like it's just kind of like a punch. Like the grounded effect was what like you could really kill divers or kill escapers real well, but now it's kind of going back to a season 2, which is kind of like you just kind of used a punch to just kind of punch people into your team and kind of kill them, but it's on a 15-second cooldown. So interesting. His projectile hitting harder. I mean, already hits like a truck. I mean, it already 2-shot headshot anyway, so like now it's like a 2-shot headshot anyway. Hey, the spell field damage is kind of like whatever. This is kind of, it means he has to reload less frequently. I think this one, it feels like to be real impactful, like it would need to go from like 6 to like 4 or 3 seconds. Then I think it's like, okay, now we're like now we're talking a little bit. Also, I think this affects how much he hits root walls for, I think. This going from 15 to 20 seconds, I'm pretty sure it's back to where it was in season 2. I think season 2 was like 20 or 25, but it goes from like 80 to 70, so it's like a compensation kind of like. I mean, the 20% calling is kind of, I can't lie. Every time I play Bucky, the amount of times that 15% fucked me, where it's just like literally they had maybe 1 HP over the threshold before they would have got cold. It's kind of crazy. Bro, I don't really know. I don't know if these are good. Oh, they're definitely good. I can't even say, like, I don't know if him losing his anti-dive properties. I mean, he'll probably be played more. I don't know. This is kind of like a we'll see. Like he gained some stuff and he lost some stuff. He hits harder. Like he hits harder and he just doesn't deal with dive as well as he used to. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one to see how he does. This could be a lot. This could be nothing. I can't really say right now, just off the top. But now we move on to strategists. Oh, I already see. Oh man, there's a lot of fucking. All right, let's go. Adam Warlock. We're giving Adam Warlock a little cosmic boost to his healing capabilities, and this is increased cosmic cluster cooldown. Reduction provided to Avatar live stream per hit on enemy from 0.5 to 0.8. Okay, that's pretty big. If you don't know, if you hold down Adam Warlock's left click or his L2 and you fire it, every time you hit somebody, it reduces his cooldown of his snap. As you see, 0.5. I think there's 6 per cluster, so I think you can ostensibly, if you hit all of them, it's like you get about 0.6 seconds back or something like that. I think headshots refill. So it's primary fire, a headshot gives a full second, and then these kind of reduce it, which is kind of why you see most Adams like do left click, right click, left click, right click, and they just kind of get shit done. Cloak and Dagger, we slightly reduced duration of Cloak and Dagger's ultimate from 13 to 11 seconds. This does not make her easier to fucking solo dive. Please send her back down to 250. Why do we, like, I understand everyone and their mother has a fucking animated Cloak and Dagger icon. She's by far literally the most. I don't know why everyone has 250 fucking hours on Cloak and Dagger, but everyone has 250 hours on Cloak and Dagger. I got like maybe 5, and after that I was like, there has to be funner strategists, and I did find funner strategists. Jeffrey the Land Shark, we're slightly reducing the pressure our favorite Land Shark puts on enemies' backlines. Good boy Jeff, but let's give them a breather. Their full slash damage fall off now starts at 15 meters, was 20 meters, and damage drop from 60 to 30, 65 to 40. Okay. It does less damage to enemies in the back. Reduce is just recovery time from... That's such a fucking massive nerf. What the fuck? What? Why? Oh my god, that's like what? Bro, that was the best fucking time in the world when that dumbass couldn't swallow any enemies, and it was just like, brother, you know it's over for you. Bro, less than half a second now? Jesus. It was also one of the downsides of if you were trying to swallow anyone and you couldn't, and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna swallow nothing and wait for my team. It was a full second they essentially didn't have a healer, and you got to really punish it. But now, like, it being different. Jesus. Oh my god. A compensation buff in a fucking half. Wow, now it's literally like sometimes it's actually sometimes now just completely more rewarding. Because sometimes you would just try to eat people because you're just like, I know I gotta eat somebody, but now literally you're just like, oh, you hear Fear Magneto, you literally just don't eat anybody. Or you just hear like I got Iron Man or Ultron, now you just go somewhere. Like, you could just use this to move around. He already gets his ult stupidly fucking fast still. Like, wow, that's actually a huge compensation up. Luna Snow, a small encore for Luna Snow to enhance her increased lightning dike. I said, yeah, okay, so another Luna Snow buff. I understand she isn't as good as she used to be, but hey, oh, it's magical. Okay, we're expanding the battlefield coverage for Ultron's ultimate. There are no strings on him. We've adjusted the logic of Ultron's ultimate. Before Ultron drones surrounding Ultron will no longer shoot directly at the crosshair target. Instead, they will bombard the area around the target. The bombardment area matches Ultron's, but with slightly lower values. With this adjustment, the coverage area of Rage of Ultron increased from 3 meters to 6 meter radius. After activating Rage of Ultron, increase Ultron's Inceptor ray damage from 8 to 18. Increase the drones from 8 to 12. New spell fill range fall off starts at 50 meters. Ray explodes with a max fall off of 5 meters, 3 seconds. Increase healing effect on allies from 25 to 40. Damage and healing effects on target within the original 3-minute range. I believe this is just only ultimate tweaks, right? Ultron's and rays. So he does more damage? But does this mean that his shit does more damage? The rays? Hold on, fuck it. We'll do it live. I don't think his... Oh, God. No. Hold on. No, where the fuck? I need Ultron. Oh god, where the fuck? No. There he is. Oh shit, I fucked it up. No. Don't do this to me. Hold on, let's see. Wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. How long does this last? Wait, how long does this last? Wait, whoa, whoa. How long does this last? Bro, this can't last. Like, there's no way this is a permanent fucking buff. No, this has to be like... It says after activating it. No, there's no... What in the fuck? This has to be just during his ultimate, but even if it's his ultimate... Bro, if this is just ultimate damage, oh my fucking god. Dude, oh my, holy shit, what? No, this is just an adjustment to his ult? Bro, this fucking hits like a truck. What are we talking about? Oh my God. So so they increased the damage but gave it fall off? Is that what I'm understanding? Wait, no, it's only an explosion radius that there's fall off damage. Oh my God. Oh wait, Ultron was already played a lot in the preseason of the MRC. A lot of in the preseason is triple support, him, Mantis, and then like, you know, like Invisible Woman or something like that. Or like if Gambit was a band, or like a Loki. But bro, what in the fuck? Dude, this ult's gonna hit like his ult could like kill Groot, but like you need the full duration. Bro, you might be able to fuck around and kill Monster Hulk with his ult now. Like actually, like that's not a dead ass. Like if you direct impact Monster Hulk, you might be able to fucking get 18. Like you gotta understand, there's 4 drones. So you gotta multiply this, like, so you multiply this 12 by 4, right? So this is 48 per shot on top of, so what is it? Is it 70 per shot? And it's in 3 bursts? Oh, no, what in the, what? Yeah, 48 times that, is it, is it like 60? No, hold on, my math's fucking terrible. Oh God. Like what, 60-ish something, 50-ish? No, not 50, it's not even close to fucking 50. It's 66 damage, isn't it? Which, if it's 66, it's actually fucking funny. Yeah, it's 66 damage per shot, which I think it's in a burst of what it goes do. So it's like in a burst of 3. So is that 188 damage per Jesus. I mean, I guess they don't direct impact, but like they don't fire in the exact same location as they used to. But like it's still a 6-meter area, so like it's at 3 meters. It starts at 1.5. I mean, it's still like 180-ish damage you're probably fucking taking a burst, and it's like 4 bursts. Oh my, wait, this is actually like, and like it heals ally. Oh man, it's actually disgusting. Wait, what? Wow, I was not expecting this for Ultron. That's actually, yeah, wow. That's I think that's quite a big buff. I mean, but you're mostly running him in triple. That's the issue. Team up abilities, Guardian of the Deep, Venom, Jeff the Land Shark. Is it removed or just adjusted? Even the Goddess of Death and Renova's symbiotes have to admit that Jeff's healing hugs were a little too powerful. We're dialing back the extra bulk. Okay, so bonus health from 50 to 70, and then from, okay, so they're just reducing the healing effectively. Honestly, I rarely see this team up. This is mostly like a pro thing that they run this because this shit was insane. For the pros and even in high ranks and coordinated, but like anything below high ranks, like I rarely ever saw this team up because it's just like running Venom into like by himself. Like you were just, it was just, you couldn't run this in anything aside from like Eternity and above and like pro play. And pro play, this shit was really fucking stupid. And anything but in pro play, it was kind of like anything like Celestial and above is kind of like, eh. And then new Lucky Boon. She gains 5% damage. White Fox unlocks new. Yeah, we saw that and saw that. Wow, real winners from this patch. Ultron and Jeff. I mean, those are 2. Bucky's just kind of like, we'll see. Human Torch is kind of like interesting adjustment. Elsa, biggest fucking loser. She'll probably no longer be permabanned, so we'll see her a lot. Gambit's probably gonna just still be permabanned. People still hate facing him. Penny's kind of like a question mark. Deadpool's a huge loser. Emma Frost is a winner, not a big one. Aesthetically, Penny's also a big winner. I mean, she lost 50 HP, but she definitely gets it back in compensation. So, like, Penny's a big winner. Human Torch is a winner, not a big one. Adam Warlock's a big winner. Cloak and Dagger's a loser, which he was more of a loser. Jeff the Landshark is a... He comes out like, it's kind of like even, but I think a big winner. This is kind of nice. Luna Snow, winner as usual. Ultron, big fucking winner. Oh, man. Wow. So, like I said, I just want to see Cloak and Dagger. I just want to see her ult being shorter is good. Like, because it was already, you know, fucking 5 seconds longer than the next longest ultimate. Because, like, the problem with her ult is she has to finish that animation. And her animation takes, like, 5 seconds. So, like, because her ult really is, like, 8 seconds. But the animation goes for so long. If you're in the animation, it just lasts fucking forever. So it's either like it's either her animation will stay the same and the end trail of it will be shorter, which means that if you're Cloak and Dagger, you can't like fucking full send it in the backline because your shit's just not going to be there for nearly as long. So you might have to just, you know, like dash in there twice and then use the 2 dashes to get out and just kind of play it in like a circle to stay in the backline and just not like go back there and full send the backline, their backline, because you might die more frequently. But like I said, only real thing I want to see, I mean, they nerfed Elsa properly, so maybe I could play her more. She's not going to be as overtuned as she was. I think I just want to see Cloak and Dagger be at 250. She should not be at 275. Every character they come out with, I think the only characters who should really and truly have 275 as strategists, genuinely, is Mantis and Ultron. I think that's pretty much it. That's because every other healer can just heal themselves. So, like, I think Sue needs to be 250. Fucking Cloak and Dagger needs to be 250. Mantis is the only one because Mantis doesn't really have too many escape tools or survival tools. Like, her own self-healing is not enough. Like, it's like her self-healing is not going to let you live. It's not going to be the reason you live a lot. Like, very occasionally you're like, wow, at 14 HP, thank God for my self-healing. But most of the time you're going to still get cooked. Like, you're still going to get fried, especially like in just ranked. Like I said, pro play, it's a different comparison. All of them people are freaks and monsters. Even in high ranks, they're all freaks and monsters. Just different categories of freaks and monsters. But like, in like anything below Celestial. Hell, even Celestial and below, depending on where you are in Celestial, it's just not going to be that big of a... Yeah, so I think like, it's just Mantis and Ultron should be the only strategists at 275. I think the rest should be 250. Like, all of them. Gambit has a lot of self-healing. Jeff has a lot of self-healing. Well, he's already 250, but like, Cloak and Invisible Woman should not be at 275. They should be 250. I don't... Just go ahead and like to put that out there. So yeah, no, this is patch notes. I think, like I said, we know the big winners. We know who the big losers are. Big losers, Tankpool and Elsa, pretty much. Those are the biggest losers. The biggest winners are, like, we could just, without Penny and Ultron, like, we don't even really have to think about it. The rest are kind of like, actually, the biggest fucking winners are dive tanks. That's Brawl and dive tanks, biggest fucking winners, baby. Biggest fucking winners. Everyone else is kind of second place after that. But yeah, no, these are the patch notes. Yeah. You know, it's typically the 0.5 seasons don't really have that big of change. They have typically smaller adjustments, trying to fix mistakes or correct mistakes that they made previously. Typically, the start of seasons, like so, season 8, we're going to see a big challenge. Balance patch, and we're going to see a lot of heroes adjusted. Most of the roster, these are typically, I think, like the solid number seasons, not the half seasons, but the full seasons, typically are about like 20 plus heroes typically get adjusted. Like half the roster typically sees like an adjustment or a tune. Typically in the smaller ones like this, it's like 10 or less a lot of times. We got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So we got 11. Typically it's around like, it's in the ball. Well, I gotta remember, we're gonna get more heroes, so it's like 10. Typically it's 10 or less, but like in the future it's probably gonna be like 11 or less, and like we can assume that the balance patch notes and like solid seasons are gonna be like 25 and up. Like 25 plus adjustment characters are gonna be there. So I like it. I don't think it, I mean, it does change a lot, or Vanguard Pool is not gonna probably be permaban, and Elsa's not gonna be permaban. So like those are two more available spots that we can actually spend on banning other characters, such as making sure Groot never sees the light of day in my games, because God knows that I fucking just, my tanks can't, they just fold. All right, that's all I got. I'm gone.